Brianne Showman with Get Your Fix Physical Therapy and Performance, and this is your Friday Fix. This is the last of the Strength Required 4 series, and I saved one of my favorites for last, or probably my absolute favorite, and that is Strength Required for running. If you've been following me for any period of time, you most likely know I talk a lot about running technique, a lot about what strength is required when it comes to running and decreasing our risk of injury with running. So I wanted to dive in just to the overall aspect of strength areas that we need with running. So we'll start from the bottom and work our way up. First and foremost, feet. Yes, you wear shoes, but those don't solve every single problem. Those don't do everything that we think they do. If we don't have good foot control and ankle stability and control, it can cause a lot of issues up our legs and up into our trunk, up into our backs. So if we don't have good control and strength in our feet, it can definitely cause some issues. First and foremost, that's what we want to look at, is what are our feet doing? How much strength and control do we have in our feet? Now, continuing up the chain, we do need some strength in our calves. I don't necessarily preach this a lot because I think we have more strength in our calves than what we realize. And ultimately, we don't want to be pushing off a ton with our calves. We want to be more using our hamstrings. That's where I'll get to next. Hamstring strength. With proper running technique, in order to save our hip flexors, save our quads, which is typically what's overworked, and to keep us running more efficiently, we want good hamstring strength. We should be pulling that leg off the ground with our hamstrings. So if we don't have good strength and control through that hamstring, over time it is going to fatigue. We're going to end up with some strains in there. There's other reasons for strains as well, but we do want good hamstring strength for running. Then we go to hips and glutes. There's a lot of area to cover when we're talking about hips and glutes, and I'm not going to go into every muscle group by any means, but we need good strength and control through our hips for a couple reasons. One, if we don't have strength in our hips, our leg can collapse in, causing some increased torque on our knees. A lot of weakness in the hips can contribute to knee issues. Along with that, if we don't have good strength and control in our hips and in our pelvis, it can cause our pelvis to drop a little bit. So what I see when people are running is a slight little shift in that pelvis, which ultimately then causes a torque on the rest of that leg that's on the ground in through that knee, once again causing issues possibly in the hip, possibly in the knee, all of that fun stuff that goes on in that knee and hip area. And then we do need actual strength in our low backs as well. A lot of times I see people with low back pain after they've been running for a certain length of time. A lot of this comes down to weakness in the endurance muscles and the stability in their spine. What starts out running in good position ends up in this arch in their back over time because of fatigue. When we get that arch, we're putting more stress and strain on our backs. We're pinching down on nerves potentially. So if you're getting some numbness in your legs, your feet, anything like that, that could be one of the reasons as well. So having good strength, stability, control in our trunk, in our low back is definitely important when we're talking running. So if you have any issues with your running, if you have any questions about what you might be able to do to improve strength in different areas, or maybe you aren't sure what strength needs to be improved in these areas, feel free to email me, Brianne@getyourfixpt.com. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you, see what we can do in order to get your running issues resolved and get you running pain-free. And until next time, let's go out and get your fix.